Hello again, everybody. This is Sebastian Keynes. This is going to be another Watch Our Realms video. More specifically, this video is more directed to telling you, my audience, that in case you did not know, there is a podcast that I am co-hosting called Wars Going On. And I'm doing it with my partner here, as you see beside me, Arturos, which now is Arturos War in YouTube. So Arturos, before we will get started and kind of give him as to the change that is coming to the podcast, do you want to introduce yourselves to my audience, and then we'll go ahead and explain to them how things are going to be changing.
Yeah, I'm Arcturus. I've been playing Watcher of Realms since February 22, so I've had a lot of time playing this game. I've found it's got a really good community, and part of that is me wanting to share my experiences and chatting with Sebastian on our Discord, the DSE Discord. We hit off this idea about the fact there wasn't really a podcast, and we wanted to build on that and find an easy way to share information with people and bring ideas together and talk about what's important to the community. And that's where Wars Going On was born.
So for those of you that did know about the podcast, it essentially was Wars Going On as a presentation by the Dragon Slayers community. And so right now there are some changes going on within that umbrella, and so we have had to relocate the podcast. And so what we decided to do is that we're going to move it over to Arturos's YouTube page. And as you can see, he already has kind of started setting things up, and he was able to download the episodes that we have recorded so far. And we've been doing this now on about 4 months, correct? So we've had 10 in.
Yeah.
There were a couple of weeks that we lost because we were still learning the ropes and trying to get things set up. But we've opened it. That our first episode was really like we wanted to be like a State of the Union type of episode, but then we realized that'd be too long, so let's just break it up, and the whole idea was born, right?
Yeah, and it's been really good to bring together sort of like the ideas from across the community and have great guests on, like Morton Mike, and we've got some more guests lined up in the next couple of weeks. So that's going to be really exciting, and hopefully that will bring more people into it. We know that other people are starting to set up podcasts as well. So there is obviously interest in this format. So it's definitely something that we can keep doing. It's a fun way to spend a Saturday night chatting with a friend about a game you play, and getting information out to the community. We know other people have been enjoying it because we're getting comments along the lines of "this is great to listen to while I'm doing something else," or "I really like this format." So yeah, it's nice to get out and speak to people and share our love of the game with other people.
So for those of you, if you're interested about what the format is, essentially what we do for the first half of the podcast is that we cover new updates that are rolling into the game. And since both of us play in the Forerunner server, we kind of get these leaks ahead of time in terms of what the developers are thinking about doing to the game. And as you've seen it with, like an example right now with the global patch, you see all of this stuff flooding in. Well, that is because in Forerunners, we kind of had it sprung on us in little bits. And then once the developers feel comfortable with it, you just put it all together into one patch, and they could roll it out. So as you can see here from our so far our catalog, we kind of do cover those little things as they start sprinkling out. So we cover Semra almost a month earlier. We went through the camp, no sign of it yet for global, but we give you a little heads up, like Lily becoming an esotericist, changes to arena,
the presets and everything. Yeah.
So changes that are coming into arena, GBG maps. We had 2 weeks in Forerunners before we rolled out into global. So we just kind of covered that stuff. And fortunate enough, we did have the opportunity to get Morton Mike in to provide his input as well. And then you have also lined up some guests. I'm not going to spoil as to who they're going to be, but that is kind of the way that we do try to structure that. And then the second half, you and I just kind of pick a topic and we just talk about it in general of the game. So first it started out with facets of the game, phases of the game, what's good, what's bad, what we hope to change. And now we're gonna give those cooldown, and now it kind of has become a little bit more of like in our last episode. We decided let's go over the artifacts for mages and fighters, and kind of give our opinion as to which ones do we think were good in general, where each one applies specifically, and where to invest your metro.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's we also did one on GVG, the new fortress setup, and we got to play around with that, and that got a lot of interaction as well. We've been just having some discussions about how we could expand on that going forwards. There's definitely, and we're going to try and we know that there's this big fastidious Wreck It with Epics challenge going on at the moment, so we have the opportunity to look at some of the epic heroes who are coming in the game. This is one of spoiling the topic for this week. I'm not going to tell you which hero we're talking about, but this is basically what we're going to do. We're going to bring in one of the epic heroes who's often overlooked, and then do a deep dive of what he can do, different places he can be built, and experience, sort of have a play with one of the, I think, most interesting theory crafters in the game because of what he does and how he does it. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good episode. I'm looking forward to doing it.
So in the video description, I will post the link to Arcturus' channel. We would appreciate if you go hit like and subscribe. Rebuild, especially if you were hearing or watching the podcast, just to make sure that you do get the next ones in your feed and you are notified. We do try to record. For me, it would be Saturday afternoon. For Arcturus, Saturday evening. And then he eventually will roll these out either late Sunday into Monday. That's when you usually can hope for these to drop. So I'm gonna do that and post your link in the comment section there. So, and then in my channel, what I did is I created a tab specifically where it says podcasts, and essentially is just the playlist of all the episodes rolled out and any future ones that are coming, and you can just click on it and it'll redirect you over to Arcturus's channel. And that's essentially two sources where you are going to be able to find the podcast. So Arcturus and I are enthusiastic about this endeavor. We do see a very good future for it. We'll keep going at it. And if you have any questions, comments, ideas, please use the YouTube sections of the videos. Arcturus will keep an eye on those. And if you have time to join another Discord, sure, come over to the Dragon Slayers Discord. We'll keep that thread going there, specifically for our Dragon Slayers members. But if that's another way that you want to reach out to us, for the meantime, we'll put that stuff there. And then as this evolves, Arcturus, maybe in the future we start thinking about Discords for the podcast specifically and all that other stuff that comes along with it.
Absolutely. I was wondering about that earlier today, but it's not something I've got capacity for at the moment. But in the down the line, who knows what will happen?
Yep. So that's it. That was the special announcement. So Wars Going On is now going to be Wars Going On with Arturo Sebastian Keynes. It's going to be posted in Arcturus's War channel. Look for it. Hit like and subscribe on both channels. It will help us grow. I will see you all next time. Thank you, Arcturus.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.